Hello, how you guys doing? Hope you're having a pleasant day or good day or wherever you're seeing this video from. You know, I get on cover a lot of different topics and controversies. I talk about other people and systems and ethnic backgrounds. But sometimes we have to go back and reflect on our own background. People that look like my ethnicity, my nationality, ethnicity, because in this video I'm about to show you, but when it comes to classifies black people, we gotta stop doing this. What I'm about to show you, shout out to these content creators for bringing this up. This buffoonery, coonery is going out to a whole different level. Shout, this guy named I think his page is a Tazi and something like that. But watch what this man doing, and I'm gonna show you some other videos. And this coonery has gone to a chitlin circuit in 2025. Like back in, and what I mean by that, when people used to do the sample eyes with the black face, you have black people acting in modern day 25. Watch this.
Motivational coach is destroying his life for clout. You gotta wake up! You gotta wake up! You gotta wake up! You can't be asleep all day long! Get up out that depression! Get up out that sadness! Get up out that mood! Really? Is this what we're doing right now? You might have heard him rambling some motivational nonsense there, but in reality, the only thing this guy motivated is people to get as far away from him as possible, because it's safe to say these motivational videos have hit a new societal low, as he's risking jail time for this content, which at the end of the day consists of him pouring food on himself and others in public while repeatedly shouting inspirational quotes. Be you! Just be you! Just be you! Stop thinking I gotta have this so they can like me! Stop thinking I gotta be like them so they can like me! Just be you! Apparently this is his idea of motivating people. I'm sure Walmart employees who had to clean all this up were super motivated by that video. We honestly might need something like mandatory community service for people who burden retail workers for the sake of their own content on social media. But either way, this is Carlton McAllister, a TikToker and Instagram influencer who goes by the name See the Truth. And this dude posts what he calls motivational videos on his social media. At least, that's what his bio says. Motivate, inspire, uplift. Great stuff right there. So I guess those must be his intentions with all this, or a front to get away with what he's currently doing. And of course, this would only be if you feel motivated by this sort of content. I have always wanted to be a lawyer.
You are doing what you are meant to do.
We do not surrender at this firm. You look like you have an opinion.
Don't.
I got fired. I do know a law firm looking to hire.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome.
Hold on. This is kind of long.
Assalamu alaikum. Thanks to all my subs and supporters who watch, like, share, and comment on the videos. It's greatly appreciated. Anybody who would like to support the channel, the link to my book, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service, is in the description of every video. We also have the Runaway Slave store, link in the description. Go grab yourself a souvenir or something like that. Let's cook. People, this guy, Brandon Tatum, Officer Tatum, they call him. He's been one of the biggest Negro buffoon sellouts on social media for many years. There are quite a few of them, but he definitely makes it to the stupid N-word playoffs every year, definitely. Well, this dude, Brandon Tatum, he got caught up in his conflict of interest because he loves and worships white people so much. And he got caught up because he had to respond or tried to respond to a real white supremacist. And it's interesting to see these guys like Tatum, the Hodge boys, Candace, Jason Fatlock, and Jesse Peterson, and many more. And it gets interesting to see these guys in front of a real white supremacist who doesn't appreciate their buffoonery and feels that they're the lowest form of a black person, period. When these guys don't appreciate their buffoonery, it all comes out. This guy, Nick Fuentes, is a white supremacist, and he often said that he wants an all-white family. He told this to Candace Owens. He doesn't believe in interracial marriage and biracial kids and all that other stuff. He wants to preserve his whiteness. Now, me, I don't think that makes Nick Fuentes a white supremacist, even though he is. I don't think that part is that important to makes him a white supremacist. But since this guy, Officer Tatum, is so caught up in that because he loves white people, he has a white wife and all that other stuff, he tries to respond to what Nick Fuentes said. And look at how stupid he sounds.
For the purpose of understanding, I'd say my views are I'm a racialist. But I do think that we need to deconstruct this idea of racism in the sense that, look, you're black, I'm white. It is what it is. For my entire life, people have been walking. It is what it is. For my entire life, people have been.
He said, I used to say I'm a racialist, but I'm a racist. He'd go on to talk about how he want to marry somebody that looked like him. That, like...
Oh.
Like, black people are not all the same. This is where people become racist in my book. Black people are not the same. So when you say black people, and you generalize, then to me that's racist. That's like thinking all white people are the same.
And this right here is what happens when black people who often want to worship whitey and kiss whitey's behind, this is what happens when they try to rationalize things to try to fit in. They make themselves look like a dumb buffoon. You hear what he said? So black people are all not the same, he says. He says if you generalize, that's when you become racist. Yet his entire career, his whole platform, the support that he gets comes from people whom he called racist then. You know what I'm saying? That's how they think. Now, with Brandon Tatum and people like him, I don't think that me and you are the same. But to white people, we are. That's their bottom line. And the thing about it is people like Brandon Tatum and these others, they don't realize it doesn't matter how much you prostitute and mutt yourself out to white people. You guys are really that stupid, and they know you are. The white people in your comment section, the white people on your platforms, on your page, your white wife's family, her, they feel the same way that Nick Fuentes does. You just attract these pale buffoons who appreciate your step-and-fetch-it Negro ways on your platform, Tatum. That's it. That's all you are. When it comes to black people, whitey generalizes. That's what white people do. Nick Fuentes is just putting it straight out there. He don't need you. You know what I mean? These are the people on your platform, Tatum, and other people who think like him. They use you. You are a black special ed buffoon. You say things that they don't want to say. You say things that makes them feel good so they can say, oh, look, a black person said it. This is why your entire platform is based off you berating people who look like you. This is something that they'll never do. They just entertained by you, you monkey. You are a member of the Chitlin circuit to them. They don't respect, nobody respects you. Your wife's family don't respect you. Nobody respects people who build their platforms off of berating their own people, even if they appreciate it, even if they watch it. White people like entertainment, a lot of them. I mean, white people created zoos. At one point, they put black people in a zoo for entertainment. You know what I mean? They don't have to have zoos now. Now they got people like Brandon Tatum, Officer Tatum, which is why, if you notice, you have to find a way to twist, hop, skip, tell half-truths, and lie just to keep them entertained. Like a circus mutt. That's what you are, Tatum, and other people like him. Because there's a lot of you Negroes around now. If you ever act like a man, if you ever tried to act like they do, how they act in favor of their people, they're people who have very terrible American behavior, by the way, the worst in the world. If you ever tried to act like them just a little bit, they'll leave your platform. You gotta feel like an idiot, Tatum and whoever else. Okay? Now the reason why you have issues with Nick Fuentes is Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist hardcore. He doesn't want to be entertained by some buck dancing sellout Negro tokens, as he called Jason Whitlock. All you dudes, Larry Elder, Candace, Jason Whitlock, he doesn't appreciate your work. He's a hardcore white supremacist. He's not playing around. Okay? He'd rather have your black token face out of the room. He don't want to see you at all. He said that all you grifting coons, okay? You're using this to make money. He knows that. A lot of white people appreciate your buffoonery, your step and fetch it Negro show. A lot of white people do, Tatum, and other Negroes like him, but all white people don't. And Nick Fuentes is one of those white supremacists that really don't, okay? So imagine this. Somebody like Officer Tatum, who's a stereotypical coon. That's all he is. That's all we know him for being. Okay? He has white fans. He berates black people. He wants to be a conservative white man. That's what he does. So you meet a white dude like Nick Fuentes who says, well, I want to keep my family white. I want to have a white wife. I'm white, and I don't want biracial children. I want white children. You say, that's the type of person who's a racist. Now, how stupid is that? For you, how stupid is that? Look at how twisted this buffoon is, people. This white man says, I want my wife white. I want my kids white. My grandkids white. I want whiteness. I want to preserve this. I want to conserve this. Okay? And a conservative cracker, brown cracker, like Tatum says, oh, that's racist. Dummy. He's got the same mentality as the people who follow your platforms and call you hoss and good buddy, you dummy. Nobody respects you. The Hodge boys, they go for all of them. The Jason Whitlocks, Hodge boys, Larry Elder, Sotomayors, the Jessies, the Candace. We can go on more and more. I know there are a lot more out now. I don't know them. They don't. The people on your platform don't respect you. They appreciate a show. It's just like going to a circus or something. They appreciate a buffoon saying things and selling out.
Not only that, Myron Gaines is another one, and that he went on a white platform. This associating with his Sudanese background, which is obviously he's for that. He just couldn't understand why, and they practically had to tell him this was a predominantly white platform that was racist as heck to him. You know, Klan style, everything. And this is what he's talking about. And they still trying to kiss up to them. It's like, wow, why do you go someplace where you not even tolerate it? You're not even, let alone celebrate it. I mean, really? I mean, do you understand what he's saying is basically, there's a whole lot of people of all races, not just white people, feel the same way. They just say, well,
you know what I'm saying? Look at this. Listen to this again, y'all.
For the purpose of understanding, I'd say my views are I'm a racialist, but I do think that we need to deconstruct this idea of racism in the sense that, you know, look, you're black, I'm white. It is what it is. For my entire life, people have been walking. It is what it is. For my entire life, people have been.
He said, I used to say I'm a racialist, but I'm a racist. He go on to talk about how he want to marry somebody that look like him. That, like,
Service Titan is like $1 million company. Like,
oh my goodness. Oh man, he don't get it. He doesn't get it.
Welcome to all my people in the building. Hey man, you're welcome to the show. Yeah. Look at the title. Tap on in. Let the games begin. Look at the title. Tap on in and let the games begin. It's Red Supreme. You know what I mean? So fresh, so clean. But we get down and dirty at the same time. Game delivered in rhymes. Knowledge that you can't get in college. I suggest that you pay homage to the real. The truth is a bitter pill. Now look at this coon ass nigga with this MAGA hat on. Look at this MAGA hat having coon ass nigga right here, man. Oh man, but you do know that Officer Tatum is married to a white woman. Now I'm not knocking at him. I'm not knocking him for that. What I'm saying is, anytime you see a nigga cooning, and when you look at his spouse, you say, well, damn, I see what it is. He's pandering and cooning for the dominant society. This nigga got a lot of subscribers. I don't care about his money. I don't care about his success. I seen the nigga Ringo TV Raw. This nigga's made several videos about New Breed, right? And he said that New Breed was jealous of Anton Daniels, jealous of Officer Tatum. Listen, everything ain't about money, homie. You know, we stand on principles. I judge these niggas based on their principles. I don't give a damn about their money. That's for the broad to sit up there and to worship a nigga for their money. I go on these niggas because they don't stand on principles. These niggas are coons and they're sambos. So now, homie, it's much deeper than the money. See, niggas like Ringo think everything is about money because he's a groupie when it comes to these niggas with money or if you got a certain amount of subscribers. Right? And you don't know what a man got behind the scenes, man. You only know what they tell you on YouTube. Listen, homie, I don't flaunt nothing, homie. I could get up here right now and show something, but I don't have to do it because I ain't got nothing to prove. Judge me based on my principles. Judge me on my principles. Judge me on my morality. Having money is just an extra. Having money is it's like the icing on the cake when you got money. You know, this nigga got a lightning bolt on his hat. And let me tell you how sorry this nigga is, right? Do you guys know this? Anytime you see a lightning bolt on a white boy, those are Aryan Brotherhood members. Those are white supremacists. A lightning bolt means that they done something to a black person. So this nigga got a MAGA hat on with a lightning bolt. That says a lot about his character. He's a sucker. I don't give a damn about no money. I don't give a damn about no subscribers. You dig? It takes a groupie to talk about a man's money. And the sad part about it is you got groupie ass niggas like Ringo TV Raw that's talking about another man's success and money. What a damn groupie. You know? This nigga got a MAGA hat on with a lightning bolt. You can't hide behind your money when you fucking with Red Supreme. I don't care about your money, my nigga. Say that shit for the bitch. Say that shit for the broad. You dig? It takes a groupie to be infatuated with your money. I stand on principles, the rules and regulations of this game. It should play upon the Red Supreme. Huh? Now let's get it up. Let's get it up. Maurice Delk, you already know what it do. Shout out to SR Son, Donald Pookie Trump. You already know what it is, baby. Let's get some more people up in here, man. We gonna go off on Officer Tatum. Nigga, don't nobody care about this nigga's YouTube fame or YouTube success. I'm calling him out for being a fucking Sambo and a coon. If Officer Tatum was broke as a joke with no subscribers, I would say the same thing about him. So in reality, his money don't matter. I'm judging this buster ass nigga for his character. Not about, it ain't got nothing to do with his money. We're gonna roast Ringo TV Raw. We're gonna roast Officer Tatum. We're gonna roast the conservative twins. And maybe we'll go to Anton Daniels, but a lightning bolt is a symbol of white supremacists, the Aryan Brotherhood. This buster ass nigga got a MAGA hat on with a lightning bolt. That ought to tell you something about this sucker. That ought to tell you something about this certified buster. Got a MAGA hat with a lightning bolt on. Man, this nigga's oh my God, he's a fucking disgrace. I don't need to coon and sell out for money because I do pretty good just doing what I'm doing. Being laced with this game, macking, playerism, creating content on social media. You dig what I'm saying?
Wow. Well, shout out to his channel. I'm not going to go too far deep into it, but I like what this young man said in this next video.
as is without expensive repairs.
Now, if you're on certain spaces of TikTok and social media, I'm sure a lot of people have heard the term YN. Not to be confused with Young Ninja. YN stands for Young Nigga, which is a slang popularized by rap culture. The term is supposed to represent young black men, mostly teens, and is heavily associated with the image of a black face, often in connection with erratic behavior, which 99% of the time involves hurting people, whether that be stealing, robbing, or just being belligerent. However, this term is not defined by skin color. It's more a mindset that the new generation of young people are taking on. We're talking about children as young as 10 being influenced by the behaviors that come with this term, and they're mainly being influenced by it through different forms of media, social media being the main one. But we also have music, specifically rappers, promoting this way of showing up in the world. A lot of the violent behavior from young people being publicized on social media right now can be connected to this mindset as well. And in this video, I want to talk about why the YN mindset is slowly ruining society. Rapper King Von, who died back in 2020, might be the poster boy for this conversation, because Von was not only the physical representation of what the YN term is associated with, which is a blackface, but King Von was also big on being a menace to society. That's what Von not only spoke about in his music, but he took pride in being the way he was. And then he got himself into an altercation in November 2020 and got himself killed. Now, Von is just one example out of many, but he was a famous rapper, so he managed to, at the very least, reap the rewards from operating this way. Through the means of making a bunch of money from his music, he gained a lot of notoriety, fame, and recognition during his short-lived career. And although Von isn't here anymore, his music continues to influence kids all over the world in a negative way.
You say you wanna come ride with us? Yeah. What you gonna do though, like, if you get caught?
I ain't snitch. I went to juvie. I actually went to juvie because I teacher with scissors. And you can ask Larry. I chased my teacher with scissors.
Yeah?
I chased my teacher with scissors and I stabbed her and they said, "Oh, you're going to juvie for 3 months."
Man, Keith, you gotta chill though, but that's not cool.
Huh?
It's not cool to be bad.
It is cool. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm just trying to be like my idol,
Who your idol?
King Von.
What the?
Now, that clip that I just played you, I thought was some kind of like skit when I, first came across it, but it's actually real. Here we have a young black boy around the age of 10 or 12 being asked about riding around with grown men on a robbery spree. He's bragging about having been to juvie, how he heard his teacher, and that King Von influenced him to be this way. And by the way, the title of this YouTube short, which has over 5 million views, is Crazy YN Chased His Teachers with Scissors. Now, the question I had when I seen this video was, why is this adult male in the car making these suggestions to this kid? That's a whole nother issue, right? But this is something we don't talk about often enough. It's not just thousands. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of young people, might be in the millions at this point, adopting a similar way of thinking, being, and moving. And sadly, most of them are young black teens. But then again, like we stated, it's not a race thing, but more of a cultural thing. We're gonna dive into that later. And for the more mature crowd watching this video, right, who may not be on social media or even have, let's say, young nephews, nieces, or children growing up in this, new age of social media, a lot of you guys might actually be confused and completely in the dark about this YN mindset that I'm talking about. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing about this. If that's the case and you enjoyed this conversation so far, drop a like on this video, right? For others, especially all the younger people who watch this channel, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And then we have, people like myself kind of in the middle where I'm connected to it in a lot of ways and I see what's happening, but obviously I'm old enough to have enough sense to know how dysfunctional it is for society in general. First, we got to get clear about one thing, which is the YN term is a term that propagates a negative stereotype of black boys. For most people who know about this term and what it means, when they think about it, what probably pops up in their mind visually is a young black teen with a ski mask, maybe accompanied with a Glock 45, robbing people and being a menace. And that's something I personally think is a problem, right? It shouldn't be like that, but obviously it is, and there's some reasons behind it, and we're going to get into that later on. Now, the term to me isn't actually the issue, as crazy as it sounds, because if it stopped at just being words, there wouldn't be anything to talk about. The biggest problem is the mindset behind it and the energy it carries. For anyone who's heard the term YN, you've also probably heard crash out. Crash out is more of a mainstream way of describing when someone completely loses control, acts off emotion, ego, or pain with no thought for the consequences that may follow. I think Duke Dennis, who's a popular streamer, he explained it perfectly.
Crashing out is making a decision in a split second that could throw your whole life away. That's what crashing out is. Crashing out is, I'm ready to die about, I'm ready to go to jail about right now. Whole time the situation is not even worth going to jail about or dying about.
On this next video, this next video I'm about to show you is gonna really make you mad, and it's gonna surprise many people. On this next video, it's dealing with business. Black entrepreneur helping out. Supposedly, was supposed to help other black people come up with the product. You know the guy from the black guy from Shark Tank. Well, you're gonna surprise what he did to these black people, and it's sad. That he threw his own under the bus in business. Check this out.
Shark Tank was a TV show I enjoyed watching years ago. Seeing innovative or sometimes just plain wacky business ideas being presented, and then having the business moguls like Mark Cuban and other millionaires reject the idea, or if they like it, try and buy into the idea, was an interesting topic. Unfortunately, over the years, more and more shady information has come out about the show and how it actually operates, and it no longer is something I can enjoy. Many bad deals have gone down, and many people who were on the show feel they were scammed by Shark Tank. You can find a lot of these stories online, but over the past month or so, one of the biggest scandals the show has ever seen has started to be exposed. The Baker family, who ran the company known as BBQ Boneless Baby Back Ribs, were on Shark Tank during season 5 of the show and ultimately made a deal with Shark Damon John that led to their company making over $16 million in sales in a few short years. Sadly, this turned into a nightmare for the Bakers, who claim Damon and his team scammed them out of all of the profits, leaving them with only $650,000 to their name and not the millions their product actually generated. BBQ, which was created by former NFL player Al Baker, was a unique product that the Sharks felt had real potential. Bubba had created the first boneless baby back ribs and had patented the deboning process so that no other company could copy his method of deboning baby back ribs. Unlike pressed pork products made to look like a stack of ribs, like the infamous McRib, this was a full stack of deboned real ribs that could revolutionize the industry. Shark Damon felt that the best way to market this was to get Bubba to stop selling their own boneless ribs and instead license their patented boneless technology to the meatpacking industry. His deal for giving them $300,000 and getting 30% of their company required they find a licensing deal for their boneless technology. Now, what many people don't know is that the deals shown on the show are just basically handshake deals, and they are not binding contracts. Over a third of the deals that take place on the show actually fall apart after the cameras stop rolling, and many more deals are altered as well. The Baker family had their deal altered by Shark Damon after the cameras turned off, and ended up with a deal of just $100,000 for 35% of their company. Damon claimed this was because the Bakers refused to license their technology and wanted to sell all their own prepackaged meats. However, the Bakers deny this claim, and this was only the start of their headaches dealing with the Shark Tank star. Shortly after their deal with Damon, before their episode had aired on TV, the Shark told them they needed to get a new website set up to cash in on the massive influx of sales that would happen whenever a product was featured on Shark Tank. Damon got them in touch with Nate Holzapfel, who was a former contestant on the tank that had made a deal with Damon a year before. Since appearing on the show, Nate had become close friends with Damon and was put in charge of the other company's websites and managed their e-commerce operations. Nate was also put in charge of the Baker's business account, which is something they were uncomfortable with, but agreed to at Damon's request. According to the Bakers, their relationship with Nate quickly deteriorated. On the day their episode aired on Shark Tank, the new website Nate built received over $250,000 in sales in just a few days, which was twice what they had made the year before. Sadly, this joyous occasion turned to heartache as they found out Nate had forgotten to add a sales tax collection to the orders they received on the website, and this forced the Bakers to have to issue refunds to a large portion of their initial customers. After continued issues with Nate, the Bakers no longer wanted to work with him and tried to get Damon to remove him from running their company. Damon initially told them to keep working with Nate, but eventually allowed them to cut ties with him. The Bakers' business bank account, which was run by Nate, had hundreds of thousands of dollars in it, which Nate took all of, giving only $8,000 to the Bakers. The Bakers, who were furious, went to Damon and asked him why this happened, to which he said that Nate deserved the money, according to the Bakers. When asked about this by the Los Angeles Times, Damon claims he doesn't remember what he said, as that was 10 years ago. While Damon initially praised Nate and worked with him on various Shark Tank deals, all of that ended a few years ago when the many criminal activities Nate was a part of came to light. As of 2023, Nate is currently out on bail, awaiting trial in the state of Utah, where he faces 15 felony charges ranging from communications fraud, theft, and abuse against women. According to the allegations, Nate, who was married at the time, would meet women on Tinder, seduce them, and convince them to sign over their homes to his business, which he would then sell and keep all the profits. While Nate hasn't been convicted of any of these crimes yet, it was enough for Damon to cut ties with him, and they no longer have any business relationship. Now, while it may be easy to say all the Bakers' problems are just because of Nate, that wouldn't be true because even after Nate left the picture, their relationship with Damon continued to sour. The Bakers eventually found a company called Ristilli Food Group, which is going to produce all the boneless ribs and give the Bakers a licensing cut of 45% of all the net profits. When the Bakers told Damon about this deal, he was not pleased and sent them a disapproving email which was obtained by the LA Times. Damon said, "I am beginning to understand how much you do not understand what working with Shark Tank is doing for you and your business," he wrote in May 2015. "You are part of the Shark Tank family. You and anybody that you have put on camera is now my personal responsibility. I have to report back everything I can to keep Shark Tank producers and ABC up to date." He added, "You will no longer be of interest to the show to promote because there is another season about to be shot, and every shark has their top 5 bubbas of the world they are trying to keep promoting." John said it was important for him to meet with the Ristellis to see if it felt that
Black people, it's sad that even someone like Damon John, who got to that height of business, would throw his own people up under the bus, who's trying, a black family that's trying to make a honest business living, trying to grow business. He turns out and do a buffoonery coonery for Shark Tank. Now everybody, black people, what have we learned from this? Everybody that look like you ain't for your best interest when it comes to skin color. And this is what they do. Because they, remember, that's why I say you have to get it up from the floor up. Because some people, they will sell you out for your dream. For it. Now that cost them millions of dollars, thousands of dollars in business. This is the kind of buffoonery why, and then it's a segment of us said, can't we stick together? Because when some people start getting success, what I show you in the video, some people lose their mind. They lose their character. And that's really sad because even though other groups of people have sold out, but you know that mainstream media love to show black people selling each other out and being a front head of buffoonery. This Klaus, dehumanizes. And it's sad that we dehumanizing ourselves. And it's really sad. I mean, with the young people, the video before, shout out to the young man, his channel. This is where we head to. It's a mind thinking. And it's being awareness and discernment. And you're not going to be doing it as a collectively, but you're going to have to come into agreement and trust that people is in agreement that there's no sellouts among you. There's no buffoonery among you in order to grow as a community of people. That's why, diaspora, not everybody in the diaspora thinks like Pan-African, let's say a Pan-African or pro-black movement. Look what's happening. It comes back to character and the number of people who stand in agreement with you. This looks bad. This is going on social media that even white content creators are picking this up on a mainstream platform. So you really, what I'm saying as a community, you really got to know who's among your own who really about that business. Other than that, I'll get that later. It's, you're basically on your own. That's basically what it is. You have to do in your own people who you trust. You have to really get to know whether it's in America or whether you go to the continent of Africa. Not everybody have your best interest that look like you because they will sell their own down the drain for the palm color, as they said, the palm colored people, just to destroy you. So they'll use your own to take you down. So anytime you go in business with anybody, check their character, not their color. Because in these days and age, you really got to know who's really about that business. And most people about their business is probably right in your backyard who's helping out black businesses, black children that look just like you. Don't be so fascinated on what you see on airline. Find out who's locally doing business, who's really about helping the ones in the street, who's trying to make a protect the community, look out for their own. Because not everybody is thinking about looking out for their own. And knowing that as far as society, socially, we're back economically. And these different people, just like in early 1900s, make a mockery of black people. And it's just like the brother said on Runaway Slave. It's a chitlin circuit. It's true. It's good to have a sense of humor and things like that. There's nothing wrong with having a sense of humor. But even in having a sense of humor, you have to have some taste. I have a certain sense of humor, but some things you have to draw the line. Some people don't know how to draw a line. When I go out there and show video, it's something productive. It's nothing to make people look bad or because it's like I got family and friends that's watching this video, and it's usually something productive. That's what I try to do. I can have a little fun too, but I don't go too far with it. So, because you just never know. But anyway, I hope you like this video. Share it, like and subscribe. But yeah, this is a wake-up call to the black community, to some of us black people that just think that you got to, when you go back and look at this video, study what I'm saying. And this is on major platforms, blowing up. And it's like Red Supreme said, it's about the principle. It's not about the money. Because you can have all the money and don't have no principle. Think about it. Take care. Be blessed. Like, subscribe. Take care. Have a pleasant day.